God, Alex. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I call the meeting to order. We have approval of tonight's agenda. Make a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. We have approval of those minutes from February 17th, 2026 redevelopment commission meeting. Make a motion for approval.
A second.
All in favor? I'll have to open this in here to sign this. All right. We're moving on to the new business or continued business here. Town Park Improvements Project, Phase 2 of the project plans, TNR, Indiana Trail Program. Joe, you got an update on that for us?
Nothing yet. We haven't heard anything from DNR about the trail program grant yet. Hopefully we should be hearing sometime this month if we were awarded it or not. So that's still, we're just kind of waiting to hear.
All right, we're a holding pattern, huh?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Moving on to 2026 fiscal sustainability planning, capital asset and budget update.
So, just to give you, I gave you guys the most recent statements for both our redevelopment commission and our park beautification, as well as the fund reports for both of those funds. I'll have all of February's funds reconciled this week. We'll send those out. We should have gotten January as well as the previous year, but January should have gone out as well. Those were uploaded the last couple of weeks for our fund balances, which are in pretty good shape. I think there's a bit of a drop, but we saw the drop in interest because we saw the drop after our big project, which was expected. And from where we were, 2.4 after the give or take 900,000 or so, we spent, you could even say $1 million on the park project, given it was 1.4. We got 500,000 back, but then it was over 1.4 plus incidentals along the way. Essentially $1 million. We went from 2.4 down to, we're still at 1.72. So it wasn't, we clawed back, basically. We clawed that back.
Yeah. Well, so far this year, we made $8,835.
And last year, you can see all of last year, just under 70,000.
Yeah, so we're on pretty.
So we're in good shape. And if we spend last year, we budgeted about 80, 90, I think it was, I have to look, but we end up saving, 20 of it. And I know the build garage was something we planned for and seed it. I think we had dual, we had dollars allocated, not allocated, but we had dollars available on the RDC side, but we decided to use seeded funds because our feed was in such a healthy shape, and it's racking up as well, that we were able to not have to lean on redevelopment for that Park Hill garage, which when it comes down to it, as we talk about sewer and water and rates and everything like that, and this has nothing to do with the operator side, this is all just capital asset spending and dollars in and out that were expected. We could look at that and you'll see it in the regular meeting. I'll touch on it briefly. The RDC assisting with that water department rebuild, as we're already looking at the water side being not necessarily, it's a healthy fund. We're in good shape year over year, but still alleviates 60, 70,000 off of the water side that we get those upgrades made that are necessary, the roof, the siding, all that stuff. It's probably 50 years old, 40 years old. Probably. I'm not sure when last time 70s. There you go. We're coming on to 50. Oh, so helping the water side, leaning on grant dollars that we have for like the trail grant or some of the community foundation grants, we'll be able to maintain this healthy fund balance. But at the same time, we've got our general fund, which is gaining more interest dollars every month because it's here, and here's the fund balance of the redevelopment commission. Well, here's all of our general fund with our sewer, water, there's debt service dollars in there for the sewer. There's a lot of dollars sitting in there that are paving dollars some years that we get a disbursement from the state for paving. Well, we want to hold on to that for as many months as we can because we're generating interest off that. while Town and Country does the job, that kind of thing. So overall, just to give you a picture of it, with the beautification in there, we're sitting, and it's probably around 1.75, given the beautification dollars and where we're looking to allocate those. And we've got, I've given it out the last few meetings, our capital planning for the redevelopment commission, as well as all of our other funds. You guys have seen that to death. But yeah, just giving a quick glimpse, first quarter of the year, we're in pretty good shape as far as the RDC goes, and we're on pace for our spending plan this year. We may have to move a couple things around depending on what we decide to change or utilize other funds and other sources with that park beautification fund. Those are dollars we don't really count on that may be helpful for the every year beautification, landscaping work that love to have done out there, where you put perennials out and they grow every year, and it's just you maintain it, weed it, and all that, and it still looks good every year. So good shape over.
Very good. Okay, we're gonna move on then. 2026 Mid Festival Fireworks Drone Show proposal. Josh, you're in charge of this?
Yeah, I called those guys, Mad Bomber. For just fireworks show, same amount of fireworks we had last year was $12,000, or maybe 12,000. I don't have a paper in front of me, but if you wanted drones and fireworks, it was going to be 25. And just drones was 20. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Andrew?
Yes.
So
Yeah, it should be. It's further on in your package
Yeah.
for the RDC, just for the RDC though. Yeah. 12-minute drone show consists of 150 drones, is 3,000.
$1,000 a minute.
Pretty much. I don't know what that is per second. Yeah.
Now, is this a bit of a shortened time frame on the Mad Bomber side? Have you discussed that
I
with
was
them?
going to email him
Sure.
when we do the contract and tell him I would like a 15-minute show with the same amount of fireworks starting at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
If that's what everybody.
What do we normally do, 20 minutes?
It was
Half hour.
literally half hour on the dot, yeah.
So how do we do 20?
In what point?
I don't know, I mean,
Tell him. I'll tell him whatever.
we know what
I guess I'd try.
Same price.
Inserted.
same fireworks, just in 20 minutes. Starting at, I don't know, maybe 15, maybe 15 is,
Maybe 9:15, 15 minutes.
that's cut it half though. That might be a little. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it should be at least 20.
Okay, so 20. What do you think, Eric?
Well, I talked to Josh a little bit about this, and I think that shortening it up makes sense. But like when we talked, like you said, those guys are literally running. The show doesn't get any sped up.
That's what Joe and I, yeah.
It doesn't get sped up.
Bring one more guy, I guess.
Yeah, that would maybe, yeah, right. But if it can get sped up, I mean, I don't know, 15, 20, more than enough. I
I'll
think.
do it. I'll tell him 20 and 9 o'clock.
Maybe that'd be.
Is
more
it
real.
dark? I know where they usually start about 9:20 or so, and it's just to that.
Did they start 9:30 last year? Or-
They have to start at 9:30.
I know another thing we talked about was starting it earlier though, too.
9:15 to 9:30 show would be ideal, because it's dark enough that it
Yeah.
has the full effect by the end of it. At 9:30, it's
I'll tell him 9:15 and a 1-minute show.
Okay, if you can do that, then we can move forward probably. I think the drone is a very nice touch. I just don't know if that's a real.
I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that either. That was sort of a,
That's realistic.
that was kind of a shock to the,
It would have been nice because it's a 250 celebration, but
he said there, and I.
Yeah.
Maybe reading between the lines why his drones are very busy for that reason.
yeah. I'm sure.
I don't know.
on demand.
I assume is what drove the price.
Might have done that. Yeah.
500 shows a year, maybe. So
It's awesome. Great. Great.
365 days in a year. That's crazy.
guy in the proposal said 500 shows a year. He must
He
be
probably has more.
must
sets
have one in the
than
morning and one at night. I don't know.
Crews doing more than one. Yeah.
Good, yeah. Okay, anything else with that, gentlemen? ladies? Okay, we'll move on to additional business then. You have anything right, Josh?
Nothing.
Linda? No. Alex?
No.
Eric? Nope. Want to leave it?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You know, I've said like that fireworks show.
Yeah.
You said you do that on the 4th of July. Well, exactly.
Oh, I bet.
The nice. Yeah.
Especially this year, you know what, 4th of July, on the 20th.
Isn't it on Saturday that you're doing?
Oh my gosh, is it really?
Friday last week, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, it's on Friday last week. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the meeting to order with approval of tonight's agenda.
Motion. Did you?
That's like,
All in favor?
Aye.
We have approval of the minute of March 2nd, 2026 regular meeting.
Make motion to approve those minutes.
We have, all in favor?
Aye.
We have approval of the minutes from the March 2nd, 2026 special meeting.
second.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, second.
So moved.
All in favor?
Now I'm confused.
Okay, we're gonna move on to 2026 fiscal sustainability plan.
Yeah, so just an update here. Got some, we're gonna go to the utility follow-ups as the first stage after the minutes. We've got some feedback on current state of our water and sewer, how we're doing there. On the water side, we know it's been coming up on 2.5 years now since our last since the last time we looked at rates, and knowing we've got wells that are needing refurbished. We did one this year already, aren't cheap, and along with that, we're talking about improvements to our updates to our 50 to 60-year-old building there. So looking at our capital planning for the years ahead, we've got we pared some things back this year, looking at implements for next year that, you know, we have to push off to 28 if they're not a backhoe. Zero turn mower, I know that's needed this year, especially as we're focusing more on parks and our town properties with our utility / park staff. Meters are an every year thing, and then hydrant replacement. Those are all, you know, extremely necessary things. So, you know, coming at it now, 2.5 years, we're looking at, unlike the last time we talked about rates where it was, you know, 15-20% over a period of a year and a half, we're looking at 3%. And, you know, nominal 3% bill or 3% increase to our minimum would be 89 cents for if it was 7/1 2026 and 7/1 2027, 3% each, it would be 89 cents and 91 cents. So essentially we would still be well below the state average of cities and towns our size. But the recommendation is that, yeah, 3% phased in 7/1 26 and 7/1 27. Like I said, to our minimum balance, it's not a large hit, less than $1 monthly of an increase. And as we're looking at chemicals and cost of operations and other things like that, IDEM testing, all that kind of stuff. None of that's gotten cheaper over the last 5 years, especially, but even in the last 2.5, we've seen a rise in a lot of those costs. So here we are getting ahead, trying to stay ahead of it. So the increases are nominal, not, you know, a big impact to every household. You know, we see our trash costs go up every year. We have a 5-year agreement, and every year there's a small increase that's phased in. So just like everything else, unfortunately, our cost of operations becomes greater each year, whether it's wages, and like I highlighted the other portions of that system and the cost to operate it. So that's what Baker Tilly's, you can see on the, if you turn that, I included these 2 pages in everybody's pack, we'll just be able to get a better visual of it. If you look at that increase, currently at the rate we're going, by 2027, we dip under our required balance for our bond and debt service liabilities. We have to maintain certain fund balances, and a small 3% over 2026 and 2027. And we're not doing, you know, every 6 months, it's just once a year timeline. And you can see our ending cash in a much better, much healthier position over a 5-year period than it does even in the short term, 1 to 2 years from now, where we're at currently. So while it's not a large increase, it does, given the numbers here, it does have a positive impact on the health of the funds. And it's not, you know, it's not like we're making money, we're more maintaining these balances in order to operate our facilities and, the liabilities we have out there for bond and interest payments, you know, it's anywhere between 60 to 80,000 a year. And those are transferred each month. So every time we get our utility clearance every month, there's 7,000 to 8,000 transferred for those payments, biannual payments. So take that under advisement. I would see where we've got in the pipeline, if the council wants to make a motion to begin that process of advertisement and all that. I will take your direction. Or if there's any thoughts, I can always take them back, and if I don't have any answer, of course, we can with Nicole.
So I would
This is
just,
based on all of our pictures sitting down. I would even talk with the council recently, so go ahead.
I would just say that I'm not sure exactly where we are on the wastewater side. But I would just be, you know, concerned when do we have to start for that one as well? When's the next increase we'll have to take? And how much will that be?
Yeah, and so I think
Because I would probably increase this if we,
Sewer's in a little better position right now. We can look at that for fund balance issue over here. If you look back to bank reconciliation, you'll see our sewer fund balance. I should have included that. Growing, but not like we're skyrocketing.
what I'm saying is we had a nice little graph like this.
Yeah, there's the sewer one, the
Show us
water
where
is,
we're at with sewer.
but yeah, the water is.
Versus if we're really helping in sewer, we don't think we'll have to do sewer until 28, let's call it.
We may be looking at it with the 3% on water, 26, 27. We may be looking at a small increase on sewer with that 27 or 28. You know,
This is
that's the
over.
hope.
This is over three. Is it over just two increases or three increases?
Just two. Yeah, 7/1/26, 7/1/27.
That's 6%.
And you could see they factor in, and they're real, they try to be as conservative with their numbers as they can as far as planning for every dollar that we normally spend, plus a 3 to 5% annual increase.
Yes, where I'm going.
Right now, sewer is, water is the, from what I've gathered from the numbers and working with Baker Tilly's, water is the vulnerable, not the vulnerable one at all, but it's the one needing addressed as far as looking at operator and our normal expenses, what we have for capital expenses.
And what I was getting to there, is 3% enough? That's what I'm asking. So is 4% a better number so that we don't get in the downward spiral, because it looks like kind of like a landslide after 26 to me if we stand the track down.
Well, it looks like the yellow line though is if we do the 6% phase in, right? So then we stay above.
It does, but what I'm saying is, do we need to do like 4% and then 2%? Or how fast do we need to swoop that? Does that make a difference? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
or even do we need to make it a 7% increase and it needs to be 4%, 3%? How does that put us on a even more onward trajectory? So we're not worried about this already again in 29 or 28. Could we push it out another year by just a little bit more money? It isn't a lot. We talked about it's $10 a year, but to start out, and then another 10 to make it like $22 to $24 a year per household. I know that seems like that's a gas station trip for a lot of us. So, I mean, that's just a whole year covers. It's not a lot of money, but it impacts an office, you know, in a huge way for an extra. We kind of did the quick math, Andrew, that's 20 to 25 grand a year minimum, we think. So overtime matters, but again, I'm more concerned with that water, because what I don't want to do is cross paths there. We don't have to.
I think what we're seeing too is we're seeing construction of new properties in town, new homes, new meters coming in, and that's a help as well as far as the projection of where these numbers go and how we stay there. You know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I remember when we started doing the one increase, and 6 months another increase, because it doesn't seem like they're taking a hit all at once. I just want to make sure that's the right number. But Baker Tilly is, that's what they've came up with as their recommendation, is the right number to increase. And does it make sense to do a larger increase first and then a smaller increase in the back end? That's the question I would have. And then how soon do we look to do a water increase as well? And does it, again, save us so that we do a water increase the following 2 years or year and a half or however? And then are we jumping right back into the water? Well, maybe if we increase the water enough, this time we have a year in there where there's no increases. Then we get back on track. You know what I mean? Like I'd like to.
So I know we altered the last one as we were in it. And it was easier after passing the ordinance as an amendment to extend it and change that number a bit. So it sort of feels like 3% and 3% is their recommendation, knowing all the costs and knowing our planning and knowing, increase year over year gives us this increase. That does give us the opportunity though to say, oh, well, 3% the first year. Well, it's been a little more expensive than we anticipated. This expense, that happened, this happened. Where we could not have to go through the whole process again to amend the second phase to be 4%, that 4.5%, whatever it may need to be. I know it's the easiest and best to get it just be done and done with it, planning wise, to have the numbers ready to go into our system and into the billing software and actual paper bills that go out. We can sort of take an assessment after, look at it 6-month mark. Being a yearly, we could look after 6 months or after 3 months to see, yep, this is facilitating the balance we need. So we're at, like I said, March 16th, April, May, June. We have, and there will be a public hearing and ordinance that'll be put together for over 2 meetings. So we've got plenty of time here, and I could even have Nicole hop on Zoom at our next meeting if we want to dig into this a little more. I can run that. I'll run all these questions by her, but maybe it would be best if we can have her hop on Zoom and just have that discussion.
It's just awful close for this year. I mean, you're close to that required balance. Look how close we are. And then if we don't make any moves, how does it happen that all of a sudden, within 1 year, now we're 30,000, I would say, or 25,000 below the
Right here.
required?
Second page,
Yeah, it's a capital.
capital asset.
Yeah, we gotta be better at that than I guess. I just think we're too close, that's all. Okay. That's all I have. Did anybody else have any questions or concerns? Okay, anything else, Scott, Andrew?
Nope.
Okay, we're moving on. 2026 Highland Cemetery Road paving and removal development project update.
We're still on track for end of April with Town Country. As soon as we get a little closer with the weather, they'll let us know when we're scheduled, but yeah, everything's on track.
I will say we did get the notification out online, and I believe it's online. I sent it to Aaron to get online, and the newspaper. And some people stop in about when graves will be available. So the awareness is out there, which I'm glad to see, because I didn't want any surprises as far as people not knowing, a project. And I know Joe's probably conveyed to them the cemetery, take as much care as you possibly can. It's not like scraping up for a road out in the middle of nowhere. That's trying to maintain as much with beautification in mind afterwards. I know they're going to get it down to level ground to where we can try to plant some grass seed that'll grow this year. But like I told the individuals who came in about graves, I said, we're not going to want to touch it for a year probably, as far as grass growing, burial, things like that. So it'll take time to get it platted. I know they'll engineering side will take a bit of time, and we may want to see. I know we've used Bob Aloy in the past, so we'll want to see what he'll charge to do that on a bigger scale than around Center Circle. Center Circle got 120 graves. It's lasted the last 4 years, 5 years. So if we compound that exponentially by, you know, if there's 120 graves and we get, you know, 5 times that out of this. But we want to come at it from a different perspective, not just full burial graves. We'd like to do cremain burials too. So we may double up on our spaces and choosing the right sections for that. So it's uniform on, you know, maybe it's either side of the center circle there between 9 and 10 and 11 and 12. Maybe those are the two where it's half of it's cremains lot, the other half is full burial. But it'll take some time to meet all that out, but we've got time. We still have single graves available for now. And the more people know from multiple cremains can go into one grave, the better awareness we have of that in the community, the better.
All right. Moving on. 2026 Mint Festival planning and coordination.
I left that on there because I wasn't sure if we were going to get the special event permit or not.
Okay, we have a meeting this Thursday, the 19th here
No, I'll be working.
at the library. Hopefully I will have to get a room reserved tomorrow. And we just, within the last week, we sent out notices to pretty much all of our vendors, not necessarily vendors, but businesses and organizations that do ads in the green paper, and got those notices sent out, and we've had a few responses. Anything like that, you almost always have to send out a second notice, follow up or whatever, but anyway. So we've got that done. And again, we have Andrew did, Christina submit the special event application.
I didn't see it because you're my
Okay,
email.
so we'll
I may have
we will
missed
be
it.
getting that completed, I'm sure, this Thursday at the meeting, and get that in.
Let me know if she did because
Okay, I will.
I didn't have a lot of time to sit up my email today
I will.
and look through.
And maybe, could you email me a blank one?
Sure.
Okay,
An
thank you.
updated one, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Other than that, all the usual planning is coming along, and we're looking forward to a good festival. Anybody have any questions?
I have nothing.
Okay, moving on then. New Business American Discovery Trail Society, Trail Town application.
So I included some correspondence we got from them, but I included the application itself in your packets. And it was a good sort of assessment of the planning and the work. And I thank Steve Lucas a lot for kicking that off. And I just spent some time expounding upon his points that he made in there. And it was submitted. I know we had I put it before you previously, and submitted to the American Discovery Trail Society, and we've got a response right away. Which, Steve, I'll let you add a few thoughts if you have the thoughts on the trail town and the trail itself.
All right, thank you very much. First of all, on behalf of the Prairie Trails Club, we want to express our appreciation to Andrew for taking on this task. Filling out forms gets old soon, and I know he has a lot of that to do, but I think we have a really nice product to present to the American Discovery Trail people, and Andrew did a great job of laying that out and offering that to their organization. I was surprised pleasantly how quickly they got back to us, and when he move over to the discussion of the actual trail event this year, I'll follow up on some of this, but they expressed the hope that this application could be completed and perhaps granted prior to the cross-country event that's coming up.
That's the 250.
Correct.
Yeah. Which I mentioned to them, you know, if they're coming through town, yeah, we definitely celebrate that for sure. Because I know we have our own 250 local committee. They may want to, that's a great opportunity to sort of meld two different entities doing two different things, but all in the name of the 250 anniversary. So we'll wait to hear back. The process would be, and in my response, I let him know we're very familiar with memorandums of understanding and resolutions. Basically, what those things are is to ensure that we've got support behind it. And I let him know. I said before I submitted the application, I got approval of the council. So I said that sort of support is not something we're unfamiliar with. But hopefully that's a good signal to them that we're excited about everything revolving around the trail and our community here.
All right, anything else about that?
We would speak to the trail event itself if that would be acceptable.
Sure.
Okay, great. On February 10, maybe I should start by talking a little bit about what the American Discovery Trail is. I think you all know that we have a trail system in North Judson, and it extends past Bass Lake. We usually refer to it kind of by its local name, Erie Trail, but the Erie Trail is also holds the pass kind of for three Trans-American trails: the Great American Rail Trail, the American Discovery Trail, and U.S. Bike Route 35. Those all come across Stark County to a degree, but most of them don't fully come through all the way. They break off, and one goes to Winnemac and another one, they go in different directions. But all three of those hosted trails come through North Judson. And the American Discovery Trail is what's doing the cross-country relay this year. They're going to start at Point Reyes National Seashore in California on the Pacific coast near San Francisco, and then at Cape Henlopen State Park in Delaware on the Atlantic coast. As Andrew referenced, there's an initiative already going on with that in Stark County, and I've joined in on some of those meetings. Subsequent to that, I also have talked to the folks at the American Discovery Trail and asked, what are they planning with respect to North Judson? In Northwest Indiana, they will come from I forgot the name of this town in Illinois. It's the town I don't usually think of, but it's just across the Illinois Indiana border is where they start, and then they will have a stop here, and then they will stop again at Rochester. So there aren't many stops on their trip because it's a grind. They have appointed a person to kind of manage it from the society, Dave Whitson, who is a teacher turned hiker, guidebook writer, podcaster from Portland, Oregon. And he indicates the relay will involve runners, bicyclists, and equestrians, any non-motorized mode of travel. After a call that I participated in on February 10, I shared emails with Whitson considering what the ADT would be in Stark County. This included possible roles for the town of North Judson, the Prairie Trails Club, Stark County 250 Committee, which is kind of the county sponsor, and Hoosier Valley Railroad Museum. Whitson wrote, and I want to quote this because it's kind of wrote, and now I remember it's Lansing, Illinois. Whitson wrote, the very rough schedule draft has the relay caravan traveling from Lansing, Illinois to North Judson October 13 on what will likely be a bike-heavy day. However, we would absolutely be willing and pleased to build a final leg of the journey into or through North Judson that would incorporate non-bikers. The following day is slotted to be 37 miles to Rochester, which will also probably require bikers or maybe runners, but could again kick off with a shorter leg out of North Judson that would incorporate others. And that's the end of the quote. And then he did go on and say, we absolutely want folks in Stark County to populate these sections if the interest is there. An event that ties into the Hoosier Valley Railroad Museum would be most welcome. Benita Cunningham with the Stark County ADA committee appointed a subcommittee on March 5 to assist with handling it in Stark County. Mark Rippey volunteered, and she volunteered me to assist as well. I've also since communicated with Rhonda Terry, who is working on arrangements for the relay in Pulaski County, and plan to later seek a contact in LaPorte County who is addressing the ADT relay there. So that's kind of the overview for it. Again, looks like the target is October 13. I wouldn't carve that in stone, but it will be a major opportunity, I think, for great publicity for North Judson.
And how long of a trip is it, do you know, from coast to coast? How many days it takes?
They're starting it on the 4th of July. No, they're starting it on the 4th of July, and they're finishing it Thanksgiving Day.
That's fun.
And I think having, whatever fanfare we can get in conjunction with Trail Town celebration will be great, especially with more organizations involved. I know that they wanted the chamber, chamber involved and that kind of stuff, which is more people you bring in, the more crowd there is to cheer on people participating, because that is a crazy venture. I visited family in San Francisco, and we went to that point at the very end, and it was kind of crazy. Standing that far away. And really, that's funny. So standing that far away and knowing it's just one trail, it's kind of neat. But a long way, that's for sure. 4-hour flight.
Okay, anybody else have any questions?
Well, reading this email, it says something about some signs. Have we looked into that at all?
Well, that comes with being awarded a trail town. So the application is part one, then they get back to us, and we would, if they approve it, then we would pass a resolution and a memorandum of understanding. And then once that's done, then they would send us those 3 signs. We put one up in town hall and one up starting in there.
So they send us the signs.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Which I told them we've used, the trail in our branding. That's we love signage and that sort of. They wanted one like when you come into town too, a trail sign, which leads me to another point about it was a North Judson Chamber of Commerce that handled that deteriorating sign across from the cemetery there, and we never could figure out whose it was or who manned that sign. And it, as the North Judson Chamber went away, the Stark County Chamber hasn't had anything to do with it. So I don't know if that's something we want to look to revitalize, because those are the exact kind of signs you put on one of those.
Yeah.
Like you're coming into town, Lions Club, Kiwanis,
So they don't-
ADTS Trail Town, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So go ahead.
So they are now in charge of it, but yet they're not maintaining it. Do they maintain?
There was never, I don't think there was ever any communication once the Judson Chamber went away. I think it was just something that was never on the radar. But sometime in the last few years, I had learned that I think Alicia brought it up, that it was
They
the North
maintain
Judson
what it
Chamber.
is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I say the town may want to look into a rebuild of that.
I used to be on the Chamber of Commerce here in
I
North
still am.
Judson.
Yeah.
In North Judson?
No, not North Judson, it's Stark County.
You used to be on North Judson,
Yeah,
and you?
yes. And I recall discussion about that
Yeah.
sign at a few different meetings. Now it's been a minute ago. So, I'm not sure. I don't recall what the final outcome of it was. But, it's very well possible, like Andrew said, that it either got approved or not even necessarily approved, but it just kind of fell through the cracks. For whatever reason, it didn't get completed.
Sounds like a good
So there is an
redevelopment
entity out
project.
there still, the North Judson Chamber of Commerce. No,
Well, I don't know
says no.
what, that's for sure. I mean, we drive by it how many times during the week? It was-
I'm not talking about a sign.
It's the Stark County Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, but Knox has their own, Josh just said.
They do.
I thought you just said.
Their own
Knox
sign.
has their
He's
own.
They have their own sign.
That's what.
There's no Knox Chamber of Commerce.
No, it's a combined
County.
start.
So Stark County took them all. Okay, now I understand. North Judson Chamber of Commerce owned some property at one time too, I think. Maybe still. That's JL.
I think I've seen that on the GIS. So they,
Oh, they purchased that, I believe, maybe. Not sure.
Not sure either. Yeah,
Maybe that's what happened.
probably. She did that. Yeah, that's exactly.
That's what
Yep.
she did.
North edge of town there. Yep.
Okay. Anything-
John, one further comment,
Yeah.
follow up on Steve's comments. This is not a one-time event, so to speak, the trail relay coming through. The Trail Town designation not only encourages internal recognition of the trails within the town, but also will encourage tourism from outside the area, just by virtue of that designation.
that is true too. At that rest stop there by 250 there, you go by there in the summertime and you'll see plates from who knows where of people that have stopped into town just around. Or walking or whatever.
Yeah, it's a good spot there.
It is, yeah.
Rest Park.
I always look at the plates when I
Yeah.
drive by them.
Yep. And the
Park and drive by.
transition, yeah, the transition from a rest park that state said we're not taking care of anymore to now part of the trail was perfect.
I mean, he's gonna work out,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything else? No? Right, very much. We're gonna move on to get your recognition tonight. Phil, you're back up. Number one on the list, Dwayne.
All right, thank you. Number one in your hearts, right?
Sure.
Appreciate your time. I'm here on behalf of the Economic Development Foundation. We have our annual Stark Tank Business Development Pitch coming up on April 25th. It will be held again at North Judson Sanpere High School, which we're very proud to have it held there multiple times. This year, some exciting things are going on. Not only is it our fifth time in doing this, we started right here in this very room some years ago. But also we are expanding this year. Very excited to report that we are going to have students from North Judson Sanpere and from OD joining us in their own sort of mini competition. I've already met with the teacher and the students and seen their presentations at North Judson, and they do a great job. So we'll have one team from each of those high schools, and that's going to be held sort of during the intermission of the presentations this year. So we're really looking forward to that, and they'll have their own prize. One of the things that I'm very encouraged about with that is that it gives the students the chance not only to speak in public, which is not an easy thing to do, but it also gives them the idea that here's an idea for a business that could encourage them to stay in town and stay in the area and build their lives and their families here. So we're very happy about that. This year we have several contestants, and as in past years, we'll have substantial prize money. Last year's prize money was $18,000. So we're very happy with that, considering that it's grown each year. So we hope to do that again this year. We don't have the final numbers yet, but we'll get there. And one thing to keep in mind is that while it started in North Judson 5-6 years ago, it's expanded out to Stark County. But one of the interesting things that's happened with this over the years is that for whatever reason, and I like to think we have great people in North Judson, for whatever reason, the majority of prize winners over those 5 years have been from North Judson. Businesses like the Point Drive-In, Llewellyn Farms, Smart Choice Disposal, Bone Boss, several others. So in total, you're looking at about $50,000 that's been plowed back into the local economy as a result of those winners being in the North Judson area. So really happy about that. I'm sorry.
That's the whole point of
That was
the
the whole
created.
point. Yeah.
You've achieved exactly what we were looking for. There you go.
I didn't even Didn't even think about that.
Right.
Kind of got taken away from us.
I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah. So all that to say, that as we do every year, we look for sponsors. And we'd be extremely appreciative of any sponsorship that the town would like to provide. Again, it brings a great benefit to the town this year, to our students, which I'm very excited about. And it brings recognition and publicity that North Judson and Stark County is open for business. So I appreciate your time and your consideration.
You already have you already have the applicants or the businesses?
We do, yes, yeah.
How many do you have?
The last count, don't quote me on this, the last count was 5. But that may have increased. So,
You let how many in? Is there a certain number you?
well, there's, I think we had last year, probably about 10. I don't remember exactly. And it was a bit rushed.
I
So
don't remember how many the first year that was here. Maybe
there were
5,
4.
4 or 5,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Abrams Brothers and the child care,
Care center or something.
Loving Laughter Child Care, and
Didn't remember it was that, but
yeah, there were 2 others.
the P's with,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't remember the other one. I remember those 3 for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, it was the lady with the physical fitness workout place.
Okay.
Yeah, by Good Oil.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah.
But
So,
again, if that is something that you feel is worthwhile, we very much appreciate an investment from the town into this year's presentations.
yeah, we can discuss that, and then I think Andrew can probably reach back out to you. When is the deadline for that?
There isn't really a deadline for the prize money. In other words, we're not going to turn anything down.
We could schedule a 6:20 RDC meeting for our next meeting, or 6:25 even, just to have
That's fine.
5 or 10 minutes
15 makes it probably easiest.
rounded, but yeah, if we have more business, hopefully we got 3 weeks until the next meeting, so hopefully we have a trail announcement before they do. We may want to meet at 6:15 anyway.
So how's that? Let's just set that
6:15.
6:15, and then we'll,
What is that, Mark? Is that the
it's got, what is it?
April? Sorry, April, yeah.
What's the date of that again?
April 25th.
So once we made a decision, then we can reach out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice to see it back here in West Johnson too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you happen to have a card or any information for businesses that want to sponsor or donate?
They can reach out to the Stark County Economic Development Foundation.
Okay, moving on here. Back on the list tonight is Mr. Krasnowski, who's with us.
I was wondering on the tornado sirens in town, who maintains those?
That's a good question for Joe.
Stark County Dispatch, they are the ones that control all the sirens and things that go off.
How old is it?
It's old.
I live in Franklin Street. And I barely hear it. I have to really go outside and you really got to pay attention here.
It varies by wind,
Yeah.
literally that day.
Or does
I
this
was at
one turn like the new ones rotate? Does this one just sit still? Because I noticed
Stationary.
when they done their testing, I had a couple in school, my daughter was at the school, she's like, they didn't hear it at school at all. She was telling me.
I couldn't hear it when you go that day. But if the wind is blowing or the wrong direction,
Cause I know like I was out with my mom and dad when a tornado went through, Sam Pierce went up again, theirs rotates.
Yeah, I mean, I heard
You
ours
could-
from
you
my
could-
house
you
out
could hear
of town, so.
And
Okay.
this one, I lived over here and you can't even,
yeah, Cherry Street, it was almost.
I was
like,
just wondering
where
who
do they get a
maintains it, who
certain-
actually says, okay,
Wow.
how loud it is, because like I know
Yeah.
ones in Valpo, where I work at in Valpo, they rotate, you'll hear it, go around. So you get, and it's way on the other side, I'm like, I should
Yeah,
at least
I
be
mean-
able to hear as close as I am, this to there, and you
I mean,
can't.
we have to
hear.
pay for someone to maintain it as far as, when they're at each service, but yeah.
I was just wondering,
Yeah, Stark
you know,
County
because-
Dispatch controls when they go off.
Who actually, well, I know they control who goes off, who maintains it, and who checks to see how loud they are. Are they falling off? And it's not, That's
Yeah,
full
I don't
of
think
it,
it's
or
ever been
what,
checked
you know?
before as far as that goes. I mean, as
I was
long as
just-
they're, yeah.
I was just curious, cause here we just had a tornado go through, you know, and for the other people.
Is it 20% less loud than it was 10 years ago?
I know we had to work on
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah, I
the
know.
control panel quite a few years ago, and at that point, I think it was probably 8 or 9 years ago, because the fire department was involved. And to look at that, to replace that, I think was 35,000 at that point. That's, yeah, so,
I don't know, it's,
Yeah.
but you're talking rare weather in somebody's lives, and you can't hardly hear, 'em, you know, is that, you would sure, hopefully your school system would be able to hear if it goes off.
Well, your direction, because I couldn't hear either, so
Yeah,
it wasn't just your way.
so I'm like, here you got a school system that's elementary, she works at the elementary, and they came here and they were outside when it went off.
So it's separate from the fire whistle.
Yeah. it's totally
Because I could hear, yeah, I thought so. Because I could hear that, which was odd at 6. I heard the fire whistle go off that night. It was in my office by myself. The house was quiet, and I heard that fire whistle going off like it was outside the window. But I never heard anything with the tornado. Yeah.
The wind is an incredible factor.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it at my house, I know, I mean.
yeah, I heard it
Yeah,
all
going
down
off.
when it was
Yeah.
going off that night. I mean, I actually stepped out. I heard it inside my house.
All the way.
Yeah, if you have an area.
Well, did you hear
wind
this
or-
one? Did you hear the one from San Pier?
No, I heard ours.
Because I was out of mom and dad's in English Lake, and I could hear the one from San Pier going off, but not this one.
Well, I didn't hear San Pierre's. I heard ours because it was coming from this
Yeah.
direction.
Here, I'm in English Lake, and I can hear that one from San Pier, you know.
Hit me, try to come. Straight to junk.
I can promise you, I heard every bit of it.
I bet you did.
Right.
Here, I'm in town, I don't hear. You got a lot of elderly people, they don't have smartphones or this or that they rely on. That to let them know what's going on.
All right, anything else with that? We're good, probably. Donna Henry with the Mid-Festival, anything else to cover? Thank you very much. Steve Lucas, is there anything else you wanted to cover tonight?
Don't think we have anything else.
We're good. All right. Thank you very much. All right, we're moving on. Departmental representative reports tonight. We're starting off Andrew.
So in here is your look at, and this is pre-meeting, appropriation report through the middle of March. So I did make a couple changes on our NVH side. We had a couple bills that had a big impact on our NVH other expenses, and I'm gonna move a couple of those around. We've got capital outlays for those. That'll help free up some NVH other dollars. I didn't get a chance to mention that to you yet, Joe. So we've got 2 CEPAs to present. We've got Suzanne Wodrich Memorial Walk. This is at Norwayne Field. Bring your dog on a leash to raise money for the American Cancer Society and or the Stark County Humane Society supplies out there. And then it says here Suzanne Woodruff Memorial Walk and Deb Wapple, meet Deb Wapple candidates. So Deb Wapple, Mary Woodrich, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Doesn't look like there's any things to worry about out there, electrical hookup, any of that. This looks more like an event for April 11th, 2026, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's the first one. And we've got the 250th Library, June 13th, North Judson Wayne Township Public Library is looking to host an outdoor celebration for the 250th, set up games, bounce houses, and food trucks. That's June 13th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. I know they have a couple bounce houses. Beyond that, I'm not sure. And it looks like request to be closed alley behind the library to bank stop sign. So it would be Water Tower Way. It looks like what they're looking to close at least. Water Tower Way, yeah. So I've got those 2 for your consideration.
Make a motion to approve the special event permits and waive the application fee.
I said.
All in favor?
We'll have Aaron get in touch with them and let them know. We've got 2 POs here. PO 2974 to HWC. This is the computer upgrades of Era and I as computers. And so we did that in the amount of $2,778. And I've got PO 2975 to Voice Systems. This is ordering our purchase orders in the amount of 500 purchase orders in the amount of $642.01. That's PO 2975.
Make motion to pay POs 2974 and 2975.
Second.
All in favor?
We recently met with NIPSCO to try to, and I know Joe was probably going to touch on this, so I'll just be quick to try to shore up some of our permitting communication. And we found out they changed their email in January, so we've now got information, and had to make a call today because the way the individual from NIPSCO handled it was not good. So we just had a meeting on Friday, a Teams meeting where Tony, myself, Kara, and Joe met with 4 representatives from NIPSCO, and then Monday, NIPSCO tells a guy waiting on an electrical permit to just go the complete wrong direction of come in here and demand that they show you with us sending that permit, all this kind of stuff. And I think it's just having contact information now. I was able to call our government affairs rep and immediately had an email and communication that is going to fix that issue. So we're having to go back and resend some of the permits that we thought we were sending and we're waiting on them. I think the improvement in communication is key because we didn't know that email changed. And here we are permitting electrical, new construction, things like that. So now having a firm ground under us with their government affairs rep and economic development rep and the head of new business and his counterparts there at NIPSCO is going to make Tony's job a whole lot easier, and it's going to make our girls in here a lot less stressful when people come in demanding to know why NIPSCO's telling them, well, you've got the town hasn't done X, Y, or Z. Well, we say, okay, well, actually we did. It was sent on this day, and Tony's going to copy Kara. That way Kara is able to see and try to fix those problems. So it was basically a communication thing, and now we have direct communication with those people that oversee the ones who are communicating with our home builders, our people who are upgrading their service, things like that. So hopefully a stress from that now on much firmer ground going forward. That's all that comes to mind right now.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Moving on to school board. I don't have anything from Doug. Did anybody talk to Doug?
Tomorrow night there, I did deliver all the documents. Joe and I went in and spoke with Dalton, and he's got all the documents for that property transfer, and they've got a meeting tomorrow night. I haven't heard any questions from him.
Mitch is planning on zooming in just to brief them on our sidewalk project. I've briefed multiple school board members, but that way they're kind of a captive audience, and Mitch will answer any questions they have, especially with the municipal transfer.
Bouncing back and forth.
So if they adopt their resolution, then John will find a time for me and you and Kelly to meet to sign the docs that need notarized. We can meet there all at one time and just get it all done real quick.
Sounds good. Okay, moving on.
I'm really sorry to interrupt. Is that Garfield that you're talking about?
Office, right?
Okay.
Or Campbell.
Campbell.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was that strip right there on Office. That ditch is that they're taking care of that part.
No, we're gonna take care of it, but that was they got that actually.
It's gotta be transferred.
Yeah, it's the small section that's on Campbell, kind of by the junior high, as we're gonna be crossing a pedestrian crossing across the street.
And then the hill garage. Garage.
Right in front of that.
Right, that's just normal right away. Yeah, no issues with that.
And I thought there was the back leak on the other side on, I guess it was an issue before, but not anymore.
It's such a small area too. This is all about it's crazy.
There's like a little.
Yeah.
On there.
Yeah.
On, but it did.
Yeah. Just some drainage that they got going on that we're gonna reroute in the project.
I remember talking about that. Okay, building inspector. Think for time.
I think I covered
Yeah.
most of it.
Let's go up there.
I don't know if anybody's seen the house on Franklin, it's looking nice, so. That built it. Good.
I have not been down.
Drive
that
by it,
street,
looks good.
but-
Yeah, nice.
Okay, moving on to code enforcement.
Ramping up for the season, but then in winter came back. But yeah, we're ramping up for that. We got some ordinances. We issued out a bunch of stuff last week. This week, not so much probably, changing weather. Made a lot of contact. And then now getting into the PD portion, we're going back full staff, so we'll have, more than just myself kind of focus on ordinances as the season progresses this year for the first time, so that'll be kind of nice.
Good. All right, anything else with that?
No.
Okay, moving on to unsafe. Think of unsafe.
The only thing that we've got with the unsafe is Justin let us know that the Courtship property here on Lane Street, did get a court date. Frank's been requested to appear in court that day, just all the photos that we sent through and everything that Justin filed, just a representative from the town PD that can actually attest, yes, those photos that in the court of, those photos are exactly what we're seeing right now. So, that's the end of April, I believe April 23rd.
In the 23rd, yeah.
So I know that those processes are moving, so.
So if they don't fix that, what the next step is,
We have the ability to go in and do it, and
that charges.
there will be some, to work with Justin on that. But,
Yeah.
And then somehow we're gonna
through the
have
courts, a lien or
Right.
something.
Cause then,
a
yeah,
stake in the
yeah.
building, which.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which we
right.
don't want,
no.
or revitalize it, or,
What property is that?
from the bakery.
Yeah, the
Corner.
Wicks Treasures building.
Building. The awning has been falling apart these last few days, but falling goes around and build it. The wind is 80 does.
Okay, anything else with unsafe? No?
To be
Okay.
continued.
BCA planning, anything with that tonight?
No, I haven't been able to get with Justin, but our time frame for approval has lapsed on the two variances that were approved. There's a 30-day period where if someone files something in the courts to question it, whatever, that period has elapsed. So we'll be getting our BZA, especially it's easier now with a full complement of individuals. We'll be getting together to codify resolution, whatever. Justin's advised me on this. Don't do these variances often. So yeah, we will be meeting, but nothing new. I'll say that much. Nothing new.
Good.
Yep.
Thank you. Redevelopment Commission?
No, we covered most of it. I know, he's reached out about 50/50 sidewalk. I gave him all the information. And he will be reaching out to the council. He's interested in, putting some new sidewalk in front of that house and the property next to it that he's gonna be building another house. So that's good
Yeah.
news.
There was I don't remember what the maximum match was their maximum match.
I think we set aside $10,000.
So yeah, what we need to do is establish this as and maybe it's in a resolution form, but there's a couple ways to go about it. We could put out the paper a request for proposals for concrete work, and then we choose the contractor. And there's a rate that this much, it's this much per square foot or square yard, whatever it is. Or they hire their own and bring us an invoice, and it has to be, a legitimate, all that, and we would match that. So I guess it's dependent upon the council how we want to build that.
Yeah, I was more thinking about numbers wise. I was thinking like it's 10,000 total, but max of 2,000.
And yes, and I'm thinking from the ground up, we've got to do it. We've got to,
Understand.
yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
so we just
Yeah.
have to set boundaries.
We do, and we put it
So
in.
would the whole allotment be used by one homeowner, or would it be a max per, you know what I mean?
I would say, once we have it established and set, we put X amount aside. First come, first served basis. We're accepting applications through X date. And we would
The
already
money
have,
runs out.
yeah, we would have the, and if they want to pay, if we have, there's 4,000 left and it's a $9,000 job, well, they're gonna cover 5, we're gonna cover 4, you know what I mean? Like there would be those instances. But we would need to build that up from what we already have. We have a revitalization downtown, a blueprint we got from Ball State, and I think a sidewalk we got added there too. So that'll be on Joe and me to look at that. We can bring it to you for adoption of, and it may be an ordinance form. We'll get with Justin on that. We'll try to kick that in the butt because I think there'll be something the council needs to codify, whether we're gonna go this route or that route. We could see what other communities have done, and maybe it's the, not a lot of concrete guys around. Maybe there's more than I know, but that request for bids is an important component of that.
I know Corey's already talked to a local contractor, and obviously they have abide by all ADA guidelines and all that good stuff. And his initial quote, I think he said that he might be looking for $2,500 from the 50/50 pot. So his total project's about
And that was
$5,000.
you in front of both them houses? Oh, that's.
Yeah. No, and you put a
Yeah,
max of like 2,000 per.
yeah.
You know,
Or
per-
you did 2,500 if you figured 4 jobs a
Yeah,
year,
but he's got
2,500
there
each,
before
you know.
that, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, just gauging off of what it takes.
Yeah, per lot, it's per, or not even
Yeah.
per lot, per, can't be per lot.
Residence.
Per resident, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to have them on 2 lots.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and that's the variability of it. It's a pot that first come, first serve is when you get your application in,
Have to be,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
We'll bring more to the table, April 6th.
cool, sounds good. Park, we have anything with parks tonight?
Yeah, just a few things. The grant that I wrote last year from the Stark County Community Foundation, I had to close that out since we received the money to make us eligible for new grants. I wrote another grant this year, looking to upgrade the lighting, all the poles in Norway. That would help our RDC fund. Obviously, if we're awarded this grant, that could lighten the load, and we could potentially do some different things with the RDC money that we had allotted for that. So still waiting from the Stark County Community Foundation, see if we are awarded that. And then, I know I've gotten a quote, I'm waiting on a quote from Max Material Transport. Had, brought them over to the park, looking to redo the bottoms of pavilions, remetal those. New metal wrapped around for the eaves and soffits of Pavilion 1, Pavilion 2, the garage building, a new garage door on that building, and then going over the concession stand of the baseball, and same thing, new metal underneath all of the concession stands and new eaves and soffits wrapped around to dress that up, since a lot of it's just OSB painted right now. And we're just waiting on that quote. The initial thought, what it could be anywhere from material and labor, 10 to 10,500. That's with a new garage door, the whole 9 yards. So we do have about $5,800 of home improvement as far as for structures this year. And then obviously, like Andrew said, we have the beautification fund and stuff to lean on. So I've already reached out to Nick, and I'm gonna reach out to the rest of the park board as soon as I get that quote hand, and see if they'd be willing to start tapping kind of some of their funding, or if they were okay with the beautification and get this project underway.
So they may be able to match ours halfway if their roundup is as successful as some other ones were. I know in the splash pad, it was a month, and we ended up, I think it was $2,800 we got from that.
And I do know they're looking to do some other stuff also in the park. They're looking to put a few new amenities, and so yeah, it's great. The park board's being really proactive and looking to do some things on their own. So that's really good.
Very good.
Great. What's that game with the ball in the ring?
Gaga ball.
Gaga ball, that's the one. Over by Shelter 3. I couldn't think of what it was called, but yeah, they're looking to implement that, where we already wanted to put a piece of equipment in that area. There's plenty of room for both, but it opens that area up by Shelter 3. So you don't have a reunion and half of the people are over at the playground across the park. You know what I mean? It makes it a little more inclusive area. There's things to do.
And then I did reach out to the church about doing another April cleanup the end of this month at the park. Pastor James sounded very interested, so we're gonna start working with them to do that, because I know the park board is wanting to do a fall cleanup on their own that they organize and run. So more to come.
Okay, very good, thank you. We're moving on to Frank.
Happy to announce we have our fourth officer, David Hanson. Fully online, graduated last Thursday from Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. With a 90, I don't remember what his percentage was, 90 some percent average, was good.
96, I think.
The attrition rate was about 24%. So I mean, he started with like 30 in his class and they were down to 23 by graduation. So they don't just hand it out. So pretty excited to have him on board. He's actually back starting his first full shift tonight. So that's nice. We also happen to have first official reserve officer, my tenure online, and he started this weekend helping with the regional games at the school. So that's nice to have, and that'll be somebody that we're training up so that he's ready for Men Festival activities. So it'll be nice to have extra body for that. That's the big news from the PD.
Anybody have any questions for Frank? No? Thank you, Frank. Moving on to fire.
We are still working on getting our new engine lettered. As soon as that's lettered, we're hope to get that in service. We still got a couple openings. If you guys know anyone interested, we had a couple of our members go to the high school today during the lunch hours, trying to talk to some kids who maybe plan on sticking around, and pass out a couple applications there. The big thing I have is I don't have all the information yet. I'll have more for the next meeting, but on Saturday, April 18th, we're planning on doing a smoke alarm blitz. A couple guys from our department have been working with some different agencies and the Red Cross, and basically we're going to go around and kind of just knock on doors, see if people have working smoke detectors. If not, we're going to have a bunch of them off to go install them, need be, etc. So we got that going on.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's the man last week.
Good.
My son, we walked around the room.
every
They
time.
all worked perfectly.
Good.
And so now he's gonna remember that, as he told us, it's important, I think.
Yeah, we're hoping to have a good day with that. We've been working on it for quite a while. A couple guys have been really involved with trying to make that happen. I don't know exactly how many smoke detectors it is, but we're planning on having quite a few people go for that. So should be good. Hopefully we can reach a lot of people. We're still in talks, or the beginning talks, of kind of looking into a fire territory, see if that's something that would be feasible for us. Good, bad. Don't have a lot of details yet, but we're working. So I have one PO 2968 to DC Garage Store for repair on a bay door for $557.74.
Make a motion, we pay PO 2968.
All in favor? Anything else, Dan? You did have a motion before the meeting, you want to talk about.
Yeah, I want to move the next meeting up now.
So if a local team was to make that potentially, how we would do that, Andrew?
What's that?
Let's just say like.
Change up my whole schedule again, third time this year. I'm just kidding. No, it's all good. We could, it's all incumbent upon you guys. When we set the meeting, when we send out the agenda, is when we set the meeting. But I would want to adjust our yearly schedule, because I do send that to the newspapers and everything. It's like announcing officially when we have
DVD on the next.
somebody,
You could just let
Publish.
fire go first at the next meeting, and then
some
I'll
publish it too.
How would that make sense to everybody else in
Well,
the room that maybe wants to watch it?
my motion.
Well, let's just play it by ear, because we probably should have did that with Notre Dame when they were in the national
I
championship.
was gonna bring that up. You did it with everybody but my team.
Yeah, well, we learn from things. That's what we do here. So
Notre
maybe,
Dame.
It's not the end of the world to do 5:45 and 6.
I don't know what time the game starts, but we could move it up, or we could, do
Or
it
you could
next
zoom,
morning.
you can zoom at 10 too.
There you
in the
go.
house.
Or you could, this is the whole team here. We're not just worried about. Anyway, so we're trying to get alternatives. See.
I said that to keep the time the same, but I get what you're saying.
So we all, you know, game up is up.
I don't know what game you're talking about. I don't know what time or what. Yeah, you guys all zoom in.
We'll move on, to utilities. Joe, you gotta do utilities.
Yeah, Asbury, has started March 9th. So far, so good. They're in the, you know, beginning stages and going through all of our processes. Obviously seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, seeing maybe we unaware of some of the things that we can change. So they've been going through all that. The first day they were on site, our staff had to work with them probably for about 2 hours. And then they were off on their own. The next day, Tuesday, our staff was with them an hour. Wednesday, we had 0 time with them other than good morning. How's it going? You got any questions? They'll call. Thursday, we took them over to the water department and they spent about 20 minutes over there with them. And then Friday, they actually brought our staff over for some new water testing techniques that they trained our staff on. So yeah, this week, Monday, they obviously were doing all the testing on their own, and our staff hasn't helped at all today. So I think the first estimate from them was a little high as what we thought it was going to be, that how much time our staff was going to have to work with them daily. And from the gentlemen that are on site, this is the expectation going forward, is if we need something, we'll call. So they've been handling it. It's been working out well. And we've been learning a few things. So that's great. We Peerless pulled well 1 today. So that's in the process of being rehabbed. That's all been removed. They'll get ready, take back to the shop, go through that stuff, and then here in the next couple weeks they'll come and reinstall, and then well 1 will be rehabbed, and we should be good for the next 10-12 years on well 2 next year. That's about it. I have a few POs. Staff has been doing fine with, you know, starting to get changing seasons, obviously. So, you know, starting to get some of the plows put up. They're going to be at the end of this week, once we know all the snow's through, going to be emptying out the salt spreader, getting that all cleaned up, ready to put back for the season. And just starting to transition from, you know, winter operations to spring and summer operations.
Is that jet or the
They
sucker upper?
Yep, they will start brush the end of this month, first brush pickup the last Thursday of the month. And then they're planning that week also probably to do a trial run for leaves, make sure everything's going. We know we have some folks that have some leaves out already with a few of the warmer days. So yeah, and then we'll be putting that schedule out here in the next couple weeks about leaf pickup. And as always in the spring, you know, they'll run it 2-3 times a week. And then as it starts trickling down, and, you know, a couple times the next week and a few times until we get everybody's leaves and onto the next. So I have got 5 orders. Purchase order 2969 to Eco Infrastructure for jet back parts for $979.77. Purchase order 2970 Blue River Technologies for 6 sludge bags and 2 barrels of polymer, $6,408. 2971 to Flow Techniques for them to troubleshoot and order parts for the James Street lift station that we've been having so much trouble with for $1,180.00. And 2972 to Republic for the removal of 2 sludge dumpsters for $2,588.61. And purchase order 2973 to Town and Country for 1 ton of hot mix to repair the road cut on State Highway 10 where they had a repair for $850.
Make motion to pay PO 2969, 2970, 2971, 2972, and 2973.
Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
John. Yeah, just a quick comment, regarding Joe and the utility crew, with the latest apartment build. Very, very impressed. with how that went, and our general is equally impressed. He does work all around this, Northwest Indiana, and he's very impressed with the office crew here and the utilities, the hookups, everything. Did a great job here. Yeah. And if only NIPSCO could take some cues from you guys. Oh my God.
Feel your pain on that one.
We definitely feel your pain on the NIPSCO.
Okay, the Highway 10, that pothole, that I see that we had coal patch, because that was over.
That's the town and country one.
So,
It's starting to settle, which we knew it would. And I've already spoke to NDOT because now that we've repaired it, it's. So, yeah, I've already spoken to them. It's on their plate to go and touch it up. So.
we've got a lot of dust on that now,
Mhm.
which we knew we were going to, but man, it seems like more than expected. Okay, then we're up next to you again, Joe.
Yeah, obviously, like I said earlier, we wrote a new grant, try to lighten the load for RDC. Working with our utility staff. We've been doing a lot of NDOT work with our projects. We've got the RFP out and we've been getting a lot of interest from a lot of engineering firms requesting information from that RFP. So I've been getting that sent out to them. So hopefully they send some things in here shortly because then, we'll be obviously going through and doing that grading process and choosing a firm. And then Fall State has started a new program. It's a 2-year course. It's a certified public manager program. So it seemed to really fit into a lot of things, obviously, as the town manager. So I applied for that course and I was accepted into it. It is a 2-year course. We do have some training, obviously for Andrew and myself. So I was gonna see if the council would be interested in. The first year is $1,700 roughly, and then the second year is $1,800.
That's 1 day a month thing.
Yes.
You up for a ride.
Yep.
I love it.
So we do have the benefit of AIM having clerk treasurer school, newly neo boot camp, newly elected, even have not been an elected official. I love going to those things because you meet more people, you learn things that you don't see talking with Baker Tilly or seeing what email flies across. On the town manager side, they have mayors, they have council members at conferences every year. But the town manager has become more of a role that cities and towns have where you don't necessarily have a mayor, but the council isn't full-time employees here. So the town manager side, this is exactly that reciprocal version of clerk treasurer school every year on Joe's side. So we both saw it come across it, piqued both our interests. That's great because it's every class is on a different topic and they hit on things that we experienced here. Staff issues, how to, training people, all kinds of them. Every class was like, report that, Joe. I want to listen to that kind of thing. So yeah. And we do have dollars for training on the water and sewer side, but this is another thing. We have a clerk fund, we have or clerk appropriations, town council, all that. This is one where, we can carve it out of sewer and water, but it may be something we want to add to our budget next year for town manager training. And it would just simply be creating an appropriation line within our general fund that is the town manager's office. So
Training and development.
exactly. Yep. Membership dues, like there's membership dues, there's training, there's postage. Joe pretty much signs every appropriation where it goes, depending on the department. So he doesn't need other expenses or insurance or anything like that. They're handled within those other appropriations, but a membership due line, a training line, and the normal year-to-year stuff like that would be valuable. We could talk about that budget season to be right here.
Yeah, the first class starts this September and runs from September.
And it's what, 1 day? a week?
Tuesday, the third Tuesday of the month or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 1 day a month.
Yeah, 1 day a month.
12 classes a year.
Yeah, 9 to 10 hours that day.
Long day. Where's it at?
Valparaiso.
Okay.
That
So
was
it's
the
through,
beauty.
it's through Ball State, but it's gonna be hosted at
You
Valparaiso.
said you have to drive to Muncie and then
Yeah.
sit for 9 to 10 hours, then drive home. You're gonna hate that.
Right.
Get long day, but I'll like that.
Think we have a motion to move forward with that for Joe?
Make a motion to move forward with Joe's education for both of them.
Second it.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Do we have anything else?
That's it.
So you're gonna be out the 20th through the 24th, correct?
Yes. I will be on.
Any sort of plan for that time frame yet? Or?
Yeah. Yes, we've already talked with staff on creating a job list. As I've been doing every day, for that time I'm out, so they'll have that.
According to someone.
Anything that comes through, they're gonna touch base with Andrew.
So,
Kara does a lot of communication with things that come in. But they can, my door will be open and I'll be here every day.
Hey, if they need, they need a little,
Franklin.
We'll let them know.
You're laughing, I already thought about
That's the
it.
other part of this is, who's on duty that day, keep an eye on, see what you see out there.
Just what's going on every day. Somebody pops in, so, hey.
And I will say staff's been really good about, obviously I prepare a job list every day for them. They've been knocking that out and usually finding some other stuff to do or, as every day is different, things come in and we have to pivot a little bit here or there, but have no issues with getting things done. So.
Okay, and the next question I have is, do we have that new job description posted yet? For the position of the town supervisor?
We do. We've gotten a lot of interest. So there's a lot of people when they're calling and interested in the position, they're confused. They think it's just strictly an office job. And I've been kind of educating them, letting them know what the position actually entails. It is a working supervisor, and then it seems to some of the interest falls away then.
So I talked with Eric ahead of time, and the next time we boost this, I was gonna sort of Joe and I'll put some wording in there around basically taking the certifications from the first thing you see to parentheses on there that it's working position, supervisor in the field. I think we need to include just a couple words like that to alleviate, but even the fact that it's generating more calls is a bonus that you have to tell them, no, it's actually in the field versus not getting any calls there.
Well, if they read through that, they'd see, other municipalities, do you have experience? Like there's certain things in there. CDL,
You would think, oh, I'm behind a truck or I'm operating this or.
well, you gotta have, obviously it's hands-on, you gotta have that knowledge, right stuff and.
But even
That's okay, at least we're getting some
absolutely
traction.
Yeah, that got posted last week.
Yeah.
So.
Is it on the Facebook page too?
Yep.
Okay. I looked for it. I just was.
When they find out, oh, it's not an office job, well, maybe I should tell so and so, my nephew, he's looking for, that kind of thing.
I'm gonna ask me about it. I got at least two people asked me, are you guys still looking for something? I said, yeah, we're looking for a supervisor that's, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm just curious. I saw it and I was wondering. Yeah, I mean, there's people that are seen it.
Right.
I gotta get on there and share it. I haven't shared it yet, so maybe if we all share it, Alex.
Right when I leave here.
Yeah, there you go. So we all take turns.
Share the
sharing it.
cemetery thing too, or share that.
Yeah,
Get that out.
keep everybody up to date on that.
The road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. Somebody asked me about that too already, but more people are aware of that,
Good.
that see that. I saw that already.
That's what we want.
Because that's the whole point of being out there, so everybody's worried, hey, this is gonna happen.
Yeah, we don't want to.
We're gonna have shock. We're gonna have- we're gonna have it.
And that's the beauty of those iPads. I just put an overhead GIS map and just threw with that. And it was
So great, just, we're talking about it.
Yep.
And the last thing I have listed is, we talked about this twice now in the last month or two, about sending out letters to people on these roads about open vacant buildings, people looking to either purchase for a building and or rent, lease, and how do we go about sending that out? How do we go about creating that?
I think if we sat down, if a couple of you guys had time, we could just talk through it and draft it out.
Do it.
At least get your thoughts on some paper and then maybe run it by Justin. Run it by Justin just to see, and then I would use it as a form letter to everybody who has a nice property now, who doesn't.
Anybody that
then-
has a commercial property.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. A universal
And this could be, if people that already have businesses.
Then that's why my
Not
thinking
single
is,
anybody out, it's just,
my thing is the difference between this and, hey, you're in violation of an ordinance, blight removal, that kind of thing. Those are the more serious ones. But just a general letter of, hey, we're trying to beautify everything.
We don't
As you
want-
can see downtown, we're trying to
but we
add
don't want like someone across the street just throw the trash either, so
100%.
we want them to read it and realize,
Yes.
oh, hey, somebody.
Right, and that's why I want to discuss this, because we could,
I don't know.
we could build the verbiage in there around, hey, we all know the days are short and the list of things to do is long, but a little bit of work goes a long way when it comes to a new coat of paint on your windows and or around, your front facade, and just removing some of the trash and putting something generic up would look 100 times better in some of these buildings that are just sitting with boxes.
I think a lot of the times, there's people that have buildings on this road that don't even realize there are people that want to be in those buildings.
Oh, absolutely. And what, sometimes they think what they have is worth more than what people are willing to pay
That
too.
happens all the time.
Yeah.
The reality sets in, but I think it's more or less people just either just forget about
Trying
it.
to motivate it to clean it up
And just
yourself.
like, whatever, it's there. I don't need to use it for something. I can use it for whatever I use it for, and
Storage and
let people, I mean.
and there are
apartments.
Joe and I, we've had multiple people, and I know in real estate, same thing, come in and be willing to acquire a downtown
Well, maybe
building
that's
for
what we lean into.
rejuvenation.
Maybe we lean into, let us, if you are looking to rent it or sell it, we can help you too. We have a lot of followers on our Facebook page. We can share it saying you're looking for a renter, you're looking for a buyer. I mean, there's different ways too. We can help them. Maybe they're just like, just don't want to have the time to do it yet.
The motivation sometimes, sometimes it's just non-existent.
Right.
For a lot of people on the street, because they've had this buildings for so long.
Decades.
They've done nothing with them, and some of them are just okay with sitting pat. Well, I mean, I guess they have that right to do that, but if we can do just a little part of motivation of, I've motivated one person here enough to try to get in to see a few of these buildings. So just gotta keep
Maybe
doing that.
in a letter we can put in there about, potential, like, obviously, we're interested in trying to help you sell, get your buildings rented, but, also put in there that, we're considering ordinances that other towns have as far as,
Around cleanup.
facades and things like that, that could be coming down the pipe at some point to also help spur some people into, like, this isn't gonna be good enough.
There's
If you
definitely
say no,
something
it's
out
not
there
gonna be
for
good enough.
buildings that are not being used. But I mean, there's a dozen of them, but not just this road. They're not even being used at all, let alone for even a storage facility. I mean, there's.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. And I know in like Monticello, places like that, they've made real action over buildings like that. They started to build up their downtown because they're motivating the owners to either do something with them or they legally have some sort of ground. I don't know where, so I can't speak to that, but I know that we're probably something on that. So.
And Justin may have some experience with many cities that he works with some knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, that was the last thing on my list from you, Joe. May I have anything else? Okay, moving on to legal updates. Do we have anything from Justin Schramm tonight?
Just a couple BZA things and that hearing date of April 23rd.
Just that. Most of we haven't talked about.
Additional business invested by the council. Alex, you have anything tonight?
Nope.
Eric? I don't think so. Josh?
No.
Linda? All right, went through my list. We're good. Payment of claims in the amount of $139,432.52 from March 2nd to March 16th.
Make the motion to pay those.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Make motion to adjourn.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
I didn't say leave this week.
Sure.
I didn't have one thing. I even got fired.